Hi, it's me again, Angie Shiko. So, I wanted to come on here today, my first ever full length YouTube video. And by full length, I mean 20, 25, 30 minutes. I'm not going to take all your time. But I wanted to say that being a single mom is so hard, especially being a single mom in America. And you're from another country. You were born in a completely different country. And you come and live in America. And suddenly you find yourself single with two children. And not just any two boys, two Black boys in this America of ours. And we all know just how hard that is. So, after my second child was born in December of 2010, I had been through a harrowing experience with his dad. I couldn't even take it anymore. If you go to my blog, read about the Black American specimen. He put me through hell, sending me to jail when I was 6 months pregnant. But that's another story. So, anywho, after my child was born, December of 2010, I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take the relationship anymore. So I packed up my kids, packed up all my stuff, and moved in with my mother in Nairobi, Kenya, 3,000 miles away. That didn't work out. I was there for 10 months, and it was like, this is not making any sense. So April 2012, I came back to America. And everything went well. I had to settle down and get a place to live. I was homeless for a while, and I'll talk about that in other videos. But by the beginning of 2013, I was lonely. I was sad. I was lonely. I was missing a man's touch, a man to talk to and talk with and just conversate, eat together, go out for a movie, just the usual couple stuff. But in addition to that, my boys were growing up so fast and they're men. And I needed a male figure in the house for them to support them and to help them be men. It's just natural to want to have that for your boys if you're a single mom. Moreover, I had seen how single moms had been treated, how I had been treated as a single mom by married women, and I didn't like it. It's like they have this assumption that a single mother, especially a beautiful single mother such as myself, is only after one thing, and that is their husband. And that's not true. That is not true. And I'll talk about that in another vlog entitled Why I Slept with a Married Man. Okay, so it's 2013, May 2013. I'm lonely. I want a father figure for my children. I'm tired of people treating me like I'm a second-class citizen because I'm not married. A friend of mine contacted me. She's from Kenya. She's been a friend of mine for many years. She contacted me and told me that she has a friend who is Kenyan, who's in Kenya, that she would like to introduce to me. And I thought to myself, it wouldn't hurt. So she gave me his information. I looked him up. I did my due diligence, looked him up on social media. I Googled him. I searched him on truthfinder.com to see if he had any warrants for his arrest. He was clean. In fact, he was so squeaky clean. I was like, this is it. This is my guy. Apparently, he had been living in the United States of America, and he was married to a Kenyan woman. And they had been living in Pennsylvania, and I was able to get a hold of the woman's Facebook page, and I saw what their life had been. Unfortunately, by the time I was being introduced to Ngigi, James, they had already relocated back to Kenya. They're both Kenyan, and they had decided to move back and help their elderly parents because, they're elderly, and that's what we do. We go home and assist our parents. So that made sense. And they sold everything and moved to Kenya. But unfortunately, within less than 2 years of moving back to Kenya, the wife died. She had some kind of anthrax infection in her stomach, and so he spent a lot of money with hospital bills and burial fees and all that, and he was broke. By the time I met him, he was lonely, broke, and a very sad and broken man. And I felt sorry for him. And moreover, I started liking him more and more as I visited his late wife's Facebook page. And she just gushed about what a wonderful husband he was. I mean, she just gushed about it. And I was like, oh my God, she must have been so in love with him. And he must be such a wonderful guy. So, anywho, contacted him naturally. I mean, I was ready. And I was so ready, it's not even funny. I was ready for a good man, Christian man. I was tired of the players because I'm always attracted to bad boys. I don't know why I attract bad boys, but that's who I like. I like the danger of it all. I love the drama. So by 2013, I was done with the drama. And I wanted a quiet, calm, cool, collected guy that, we could have a family together. So Jimmy Ngigi sounded like the perfect guy for me. We started talking, texting, WhatsApping, and Skyping, and calling, and it sounded really sweet and all. I mean, don't get me wrong, he is a wonderful man, wonderful guy. I mean, geez, oh my God, just a wonderful man. I could see why his wife gushed about him. So a few months in, we decided, well, there's no point of doing this long distance thing, and come to America. So I got my fiance visa. We got him over here. Everything went so smoothly, and I could have sworn it was God's will that this man be my husband because of just how smoothly everything happened. I think later on I realized that God was just using me to answer this man's prayers and the prayers of his parents, because his parents are very prayerful and they're a wonderful couple. Because the reason I say that is because he arrived, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, he's arriving tomorrow. I'm gonna have a husband. I'm gonna have a man living with me. Oh my God, I was freaking out. So that very warm end of May day in 2014, it had taken about 6 months to process everything. In May of 2014, he arrived. So I went to our airport here in Columbus is it John Glenn? I don't know. They keep changing the names on us all the time, but I digress. And I looked all pretty, going to pick up my man, but deep inside my soul, it didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right. But I had come such a long way with this guy. I wasn't just going to leave him there. Although every instinct in my body told me to get the hell out of that airport and run. That's what I wanted to do. But I couldn't. He was arriving. He was landing. He was here. So I'm standing there at arrivals, right? And I knew that was him. I'm seeing him walking, hunched over, like this, literally, with a backpack, and he's walking. And I could tell that that's him because I know my king and men. I just know their body language and everything. And I was like, oh God, there he is. Why is he hunched over like that? Like, seriously, like this. I was like, oh, no attraction, no attraction, no attraction, no attraction. So he arrives. And as he's coming towards me, he was wearing this heavy, almost military type jacket. And it was really heavy and it was green like the jungle. But I could see something protruding from his chest. I was like, I remember thinking, I hope that's a wallet, or maybe reading glasses, or maybe his passport. I didn't know. So he comes and we hug, and I'm feeling, I know he's a bit too heavy here in the boob area. Lord forbid, when we got home and he had to take a shower, naturally, the guy had boobs, huge man boobs, huge. Suffice to say, there was no attraction, at least not on my part, none whatsoever. So we decided for the first 3 months, he'll sleep in one room, I'll sleep in the other, as we work up together to really get attracted to each other. And I was cool with that. So for 3 months, there was no sex, nothing whatsoever. It wasn't going to happen. It was not ever going to happen. But we decided, well, while we get closer, let's just go get married, because we had to get married within a certain period of time. And so we went, got our marriage certificate, went downtown, got our marriage certificate, walked into a chapel right downtown, and we got married by this guy in this long white cloak, fabric thingy. And he looked like he had just landed from the 1970s with that long beard, all gray hair. Anyway, so he marries us, and then he says, "You may now kiss the bride." And he goes, and I go, seriously, I could not. It wasn't going to happen. So I did this, and he kissed me right here. And I have a picture of that. I need to post that picture because it's hilarious. Or maybe I deleted it because I deleted him from my life. But anyway, we were married, and I was here. I was really thinking, I can do this. I can fall in love with this guy. Give me some time. He's a great guy. He helps around the house. He's great with the boys. He's soft spoken. He's a Christian man. He's intelligent. He's hardworking. I can do this. I don't have to have chemistry to be married to him, you know? 3 months came and went, and nothing, nothing. Actually, this was one of my wedding rings that I bought for myself because he couldn't afford it. Now I wear it on this finger. I don't know why I wear it on this finger. Maybe I don't even know which is the marriage finger. Like, when you're married, what finger do you wear? I don't know. But this is the ring that I went to Kohl's and purchased for myself to show that I am Mrs. Ngigi. God forbid. 5 months go on, nothing, no attraction, no sex, nothing. We have not consummated our marriage. So he starts working, and I think he got a big head because then he started, being the man of the house, and I'm thinking, oh, please give me a break. Anywho, at a certain point, he tells me that he wants to go into trucking business. That's where he drives a truck across the United States of America, delivering goods. And I'm okay with that. But I'm like, Gigi, seriously, you'll be gone for at least 2 to 3 weeks at a time. How are we going to connect as a family if you're gone? How are we going to get closer? How are you going to get closer to the boys? And he goes, well, I can't do anything about it. I always wanted to be a truck driver. We're not even having sex, so let me just go and get work done. I was so irritated. I was like, just go. So he went. 2 weeks in, he's been traveling. He hasn't come back home. I'm all alone with my boys. By this time, I have bought for him a car. Yeah, bought for him a car. I'm still paying for the bills because he's busy getting his trucking training, and CDL license stuff. It was so much for me to bear. So anyway, about 2 weeks after he started trucking, I come home from work, and there's a box outside, a FedEx box, or was it USPS or UPS, some kind of mailbox, huge, like a big box. I don't know much about sizes, but it was huge. So I'm curious. It's addressed to him, and he's my husband, and I'm Mrs. G. So I open it, and lo and behold, there are hundreds of flimsy little panties and bras, little itty bitty panties and bras, hundreds of them in that box. So I call him, I'm like, hey, oh, why are you buying bras and panties and delivering them at my house? He goes, oh, yeah, I bought those online, and I'm going to send them to Nakuru. A friend of mine, a lady friend of mine there, has a shop. She's going to sell them for me. I'm like, really? You're doing a side business, and you're not even sending me any money here at home to pay bills? I've paid for your car. You're constantly sending your mom money. And now you're doing business, a side hustle. And You're not supporting me and my children, and you're never home to even be a father to these boys. Oh, he was mad. He was so mad. So I left them there. I was like, you need to come and get your crap and go. I am not dealing with this. Around the same time, I had started hearing fununu that, you know, he had specifically said that if he came to America, he would definitely go into trucking. And if it didn't work out with me, Chico, he would just leave and go about his business. Oh my God, my Chico madness just erupted. And I was like, you don't use me. Nobody uses me like that. No, it's not going to happen. So suffice to say, I was mad and I called my mom. I said, Mom, I don't like this guy. Don't expect any dowry from them because he's about to get thrown out. And I was like, Mom, he has boobs. And I had to speak my mother tongue. I'm a Kikuyu from Kenya, which is an East African country. And I called, I said, Mom, and your door. Direct translation, Mom, he has boobs. He has man boobs. And my mom, God bless her soul, she goes, okay, oh, yeah, just suck them. I was like, hell no. Hell no. I'm not sucking for his boobs. Oh, he needs to go. And I divorced him. Shortly thereafter, I divorced him. Not happening, not happening. So, women, don't settle. Don't settle just so that you can have a man in your home helping you with bills and taking care of your kids. You have to be happy first. It's about you. Don't just go bringing anybody in your house so that people can say, oh, she's married now. She's a good girl. She's Mrs. So and so. Bullshit. No, I don't have time for that. I would rather stay single by myself, raise my boys with the help of God, than be miserable in a marriage that sucks. Okay? So I have been happily divorced now for about 2 years. It's been heavenly. God helps me with my children. I don't need a man. I don't need a man. I have God. Jesus is my husband. My Holy Spirit is my constant friend. And God created me for a purpose. He tells me in Jeremiah 29:11 that He has dreams for me. He created me for a purpose. And it's not to harm me or destroy me, but it's to give me a hope and a future. He tells me to trust Him. He tells me not to be anxious about anything, but with everything in prayer and petition and thanksgiving, to make my requests to Him, to God, and the peace of God will just overwhelm me. And that's what I do now. When I'm overwhelmed, I pray to God and I ask Him to help me because He's my Father. Jesus is my husband. Okay, I don't need a man to come up in here and buy bras and panties. By the way, speaking of those bras and panties, guess what? He, my ex-husband, has just paid dowry for this woman that lives in Nakuru that was selling those panties and bras for him. He's marrying her. So my intuition was correct. At the same time, I feel strongly that God used me for a purpose in helping this man, and my work is done, done, done. But I'm not going to settle. No, no. Thank you. Peace out.